Hi everyone, this is Dr. S.M. Bajia. Today we explore a fascinating question, one that has integrated thinkers for centuries. Are poets and science opposites, or they can enrich one another? To this answer, we turn to William Wordsworth, one of the central figures of English Romanticism. His views challenge the common belief that poetry and science cannot coexist. William Wordsworth, 1770 to 1850, lived during a time of extraordinary change, industrial growth, significance discovery, and the rise of Enlightenment rationalism. He, along with Coleridge, reshaped literature through lyrical ballads, emphasis, imagination, nature, emotion, human experience. But Wordsworth did not attack science. Instead, he believed that science and poetry serve different but complementary roles in human life. The Romantic movement emerged partly as a response to the Enlightenment, which celebrated logic reasons, significant objectivity. Romantics felt this worldview ignored something essential: the human soul, the world of emotion, intuitions, and imagination. Yet Wordsworth stood apart. He believed that poetry was not in conflict with science but could enhance it. He acknowledged that science inquiry was necessary, but felt it needed emotional depth and human meaning, which poetry could provide. Wordsworth drew a clear but respectful distinction between the domains of science and poetry. Poetry domain, things that give direct pleasure, emotional resonance, human experience. Science domain, abstract principle, empirical observation, objective truth. Yet both disciplines share a common purpose: to seek knowledge and reveal truth, each in its own way. Wordsworth famously said, "Poetry is the breath and finer spirit of all knowledge." He believed that without imagination, knowledge becomes lifeless, and without knowledge, imagination lacks grounding. Wordsworth argued that poetry does not merely record science facts, it animates them. To intellect, the emotion, the shared experience that makes us human. Science speaks primarily to the intellect. Science can tell how stars burn, but poetry tells us what the stars mean to the human heart. He believed that poetry gives scientific discoveries fresh and blood, a sensory and emotional richness that helps people feel the significance of knowledge, not just understanding it intellectual. Wordsworth envisioned poetry plays a vital role in the modern age, transforms dry data into meaningful human sights, bring emotion and imagination to scientific idea, provide foresight, helping society understanding the deeper human impact of science and progress. Where science explains, poetry interrupts; where science measures, poetry feels. Wordsworth believed poetry could keep humanity connected to compassion, morality, and wonder, even as science advanced. Even though Wordsworth rarely wrote about science directly, the spirit of inquiry and human connection runs through this work. Its simple accessibility language reveals profound truth about human psychology and nature. The poem is not scientific, yet it expresses something science alone cannot capture: the way beauty uplifts the spirit. I wander lonely as a cloud. Themes such as naturally pity and empathy. Wordsworth shows that relationship with the natural world shapes our emotional health and moral judgment. These are the kinds of insight poetry preserves, even when science analysis become too mechanical or detachable. Poetry versus science, a meaningful comparison. Study appearance, explores unity. Pleasure is solitary, pleasure is shared. Focus on what observed can be, looks before and after, preferring love, memory, and nature. Wordsworth did not want science and poetry compete. He wanted them to cooperate, each enrich the other. His legacy shows us romantic was not anti-science, it simply insisted on keeping human emotion in the picture. Poetry enriches scientific values, which gives emotional depth to the imaginative power. Human understanding is completely one when science and the humanities work together. So, what can we take from here? Rewards with relations. Science explains the world outside us. Poetry humiliates and illuminates the world within us. Science gives progress, poetry gives purpose. Science discovers, poets reminds us why discovery matters. Thank you.